Hey everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another Inspiration Collaboration Design Team mystery envelope. This month, Cami sent out the mystery envelope to all of us and we all got the same thing. So we got some of these acrylic stars and a couple of pieces of 3x12 papers. And her rules, her challenge to us is to use what I can of these products to create a scrapbook layout or a card along with anything else in my stash. And here's the twist. I must include a Cricut image, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. This is the picture I'm going to scrapbook. It's of my little dog, my cockapoo, and our groomer likes to do portrait pictures of the dogs, and she's got lots of different filters that she can add to them. So she did this one for Pixel. And these are the Cricut cuts that I made. The first one I found on Access, and the second one, it's also on Access, but it's an older, close to my heart Cricut image of the dog. So I cut those out. Cami also gave us that piece of raspberry that I cut the title out of. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started and we'll start cutting. My base is going to be black. And then I have a couple of sheets of this collection. It's called Unbounded Beauty, and it's DSP from Stampin Up. So I'm going to use this as my background. So I've cut a 1/2 inch off each side so that I have a black border. And then I'm going to use this paper that Cami sent, and I'm going to cut it down to 1 inch by 11.5. And that's going to sit over on the left side of my page. And then I'm going to cut down this other piece to 2.5 by 11.5. And that will sit next to it. And then in between, I'm going to use some of this papaya shimmer trim. It's got colors from both papers. It's got some of the pinks, and then it's got some of the oranges, and it just combines the two beautifully. And then I have this last piece, and I'm going to trim that down to 10.5 by 3. Okay, so this is roughly the way my layout is going to look. I'm just kind of deciding where to place that other piece of DSP and where my photo is going to sit. And then we'll place our title in here. Okay, so I've also got a piece of white glitter paper that I'm going to place behind that open heart in the puppy, and I'll do that off camera. And yeah, here's the white glitter, and I'll just cut a little square and then glue it behind there. So I'm moving things around, and I'm going to bring in another mat for my photo. I'm going to double mat it, and I brought in thistle, and that goes with all the colors. And then I'm going to try fern just to see, bring the greens out, and ultimately I decided on thistle. Okay, so let's make some embellishments. The first set I'm going to use is Flowers of Beauty, and it's got lots of really pretty layering flower images. So I'm going to bring my mist in and a piece of white cardstock, and we'll do this longer floral image. So I'm going to bring the greenery in first, and it's a layering stamp. So it's a brand new stamp set, so I'm going to season it and just kind of wipe it down with a microfiber cloth so it picks up ink better. And the first color I'm going to use is Fern, and we'll go ahead and ink that up, and then we'll stamp it out. And then I'm going to bring in the layering stamp, and this one I'm going to use a Stampin' Up color called Mossy Meadow. So I'm just lining everything up, and I'll pick that stamp up with the Door of the Misty, and then we'll get it inked up. First I need to season it, and then we'll get it inked up. So ultimately, I changed my mind after doing this, and so off camera, I brought in another Stampin' Up color called Old Olive, and I stamped the two images using those two colors, and then I'll save this other one for another time. I just like the combination of those two better. Okay, now we can do the flowers, and I found an old retired color called Tangerine, and I think that's pretty close to the orange that's in the background paper. So we'll ink these larger, well, they're open flowers with the tangerine. We'll stamp that a couple times, and then we'll add the detail flowers that layer. And you can use them on their own, or you can layer them together like this. There's many options with this stamp set. So I'm going to ink this up with thistle, and we'll do the insides of these flowers. So I'll stamp that out a couple times too. Really pretty. So then we'll get that stamped out, and all of these images, or most of these images, have coordinating dies. So I'll bring that in. And then there's standalone dies as well as part of this collection. So I've cut everything out off camera, and then I've cut a couple of the standalone images using some fern cardstock. And then the other part of this collection, there are some more greenery dies that are smaller, and this is the Unbounded Love dies collection. I've cut those, and then I'm going to bring in a Close to My Heart set called Decorative Shapes. I'm going to cut the heart, and I've also got a set called Nested Essentials, and I'll cut that banner. So I have another piece of the Unbounded Beauty DSP and a piece of thistle cardstock, so I'll cut those out. And then also part of the Decorative Shapes thin cuts, I cut a banner out of some of that patterned paper that Kami sent. And then off camera, I layered them with a couple pieces of white because it's pretty thin paper. Okay, so I'm going to use this stamp set called I Ruff You, and I'm going to stamp on this banner that I created with this patterned paper from Kami. And I'm going to stamp out kind of my title, because I've got Puppy Love as my title. It's kind of a subtitle, I guess we'll call it. And I'm going to stamp out Woof means I love you in dog. So we'll go ahead and flip the Versamat over. So there's a cushion, and we'll stamp everything in black. Get the large woof cut out. And then we'll switch out our stamp on our block, and then we'll gotta season that one. I haven't used that particular stamp yet. So you can season with a microfiber cloth, or you can just rub it on your arm like I did just there. Okay, so we have that ready to go. And then off camera, I'll just journal my dog's name and the year on that other tiny banner that I cut in thistle. Okay, now we have all the components good to go. And I'm going to fuss with this a little bit to just make sure I like the placement of everything. And then we'll bring in some more of our embellishments. So I'm going to create a small cluster right there. So we'll layer the greenery, kind of tuck it in under the heart, and then we'll layer the banners over. Kind of like that. Okay. And then I thought that the dog was kind of floating, so I want to ground the dog. So I'm moving it down so that the paws are kind of touching the base of that piece of paper that I've got my photo layered over. And it looks like she is standing right there. Okay, I think I like that. So we'll go ahead and start gluing everything down, and I've added foam tape to the back of my photo. And then we'll quickly get all of these components glued down. And I like to use wet glue with these smaller bits, and I have the precision glue press to get into all those tiny places. So we'll get everything in there. So with this cluster, I'm going to start by adding just a little tape runner to the bottom of the heart. And I'll put that down so that I can tuck things underneath. And then after I get everything placed, I'll add some glue drops to the heart to secure everything down. So we'll get this flower sprig tucked in, and I quickly realized it was a little too big, so we'll do some surgery. Just kind of chop off the bottom so we can tuck that in. And just basically gluing. And then we'll pop that banner with some foam tape and place that down. And then we'll add the other two. So I'll make a list of all the supplies that I used with links in the description below. And make sure you check out the playlist. And I'll also put that in the description of all the other Inspiration Collaboration Design Team videos. We all got the same supplies, and you can see what we decided to make with these supplies from Cami. Okay, Cami, I wasn't crazy about the white acrylic stars for this layout, so I'm going to bring in my own embellishments. These are from Pink Fresh Studios, and they're iridescent drops. And they come in 3 different sizes, and they pick up all the colors around them. They're pretty cool. So I'm going to scatter a whole bunch of those all around, just for a little pop of glitter. And it almost looks like, not glitter, but sparkle and shine. Almost looks like dewdrops on the flowers. Okay, and there's my layout, and here's some close-up shots. So cute. So do make sure you check out that playlist. I'm excited to see what everyone else made with these same supplies. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button, and then you'll be able to find all of my videos. And thanks for watching.